Well, overall, very excited, obviously, to get out of it injury-free. I thought we played pretty clean all spring, and to get out today the way we did, I thought it was awesome. Really was excited to see how our really the quarterbacks interacted with the defense coming at them, probably as live as we've had all spring. So thought we protected the ball well. Really excited about the growth of not just obviously Luke Altmaier, but I thought Donovan's really come along, and Trey Petty did some nice things out there today, and to see Cal come in there and make a few plays was awesome. Defensively, I thought we tackled pretty well. It was really windy conditions, so I knew we were going to stress our kickers. That was part of the game plan going in today, but overall pretty excited. And with that, open up for some questions.
Bret, how do you feel about the development of those two top quarterbacks, Donovan and Luke, throughout the spring?
You know, it may not have made the stat book, but like I was very excited. There was a fourth down play that we told him it was going to be 4 down, and Luke had a shot play, which he checked down the flat and made a first down. Just the awareness that he has of the game around him, I think he's grown a lot. So like little plays like that, his composure in the huddle. I think he missed a couple throws early on, and then made the adjustment, came back and threw the ball effectively. Donovan's really been impressive all spring and did more of the same out there today. And then Trey Petty's a guy that has been pretty impressive since he came here, and I thought he came in and did some things as well.
Aiden Muffrey seemed to make some plays from an all-purpose kind of standpoint. I've been seeing that all spring.
Yeah, Aiden's been, really, I think this spring the light bulb came on during winter workouts, and then to see it carry over what you guys saw today, we've been kind of seeing all the way through spring football. Him and Josh have carried the majority of the workload all spring, and I think they complemented you very, very well. Obviously, have a couple guys on the IR that are going to be coming back with us in the fall. Jordan Anderson's right on the verge of being with us, and Caden as well. So I feel really good about that room, like where they're going.
Good. We saw Malik had a couple catches. Alex Jones. How have those two guys kind of pushed each other and stepped into that?
Pat Bryant by far has had kind of the leadership role that he got thrust into, and has been really impressive. And he's been trying to push those guys really hard. I thought Malik did make some nice plays today. I thought he had a couple drops that we got to make sure we try to make him continue to grow. I think everybody wants him to get somewhere fast, and he still realizes he's a first-year freshman player, right? So I like where he's at. Capka Jones has been impressive. We kind of got him last year towards the end of the summer, and has been a very impressive guy. We almost played him a little bit last year, but his winter has been awesome. He's very accountable, very dependable guy. Caught the ball extremely well today, and that's more of a reflection. I think it's just his commitment and his attitude and dedication. It's been impressive to watch.
Bart's been talking all spring about the depth on his offensive line. Did you feel like that showed up today, especially maybe not with the ones, but also with the twos?
Yeah, I think we've also not just depth. It's just the quality, right? I think our offensive line from tackle to tackle and the two deep is probably as good as we've had it. We obviously brought some new guys in and made an immediate impact, but just the development. Hunter Whiteneck, Geske has had a really, really good spring. Brandon Henderson that came in a year ago at this time has come in and continued to retool and get better at what he's doing. Obviously, the new transfer, JC and Melvin Priestley, have been pretty impressive since we got here. I think Josh Kreutz has had a really, really good spring. He's just so much more aware and understands things and stronger. So, yeah, I like that group overall, and I like their growth today.
Bret, how would you evaluate your secondary through the spring? I know that you guys really wanted to evaluate that.
Yeah, I think today you saw us, really just play two coverages, so they're a little bit limited. Our offense knew that too going into it. So, but I do like the growth, especially I think Miles Scott. He's played a little bit of free and boundary. Mac Rossetich has had a really good spring. A couple other guys, Caleb Patterson got his hands on a couple balls today. He's been very impressive this spring. Probably our two best players, in the back end. Matt Bailey and Xavier Scott haven't been able to go at all. So once we get those guys in the mix, it allowed those other guys to continue to move forward. Didn't get to see Chase Canada. He unfortunately tweaked his hammy on Tuesday, but he's been another guy that's been very impressive in camp. Jaheim Clark's had his days, and again, those guys got a lot of quality reps this spring that'll carry into the fall.
What things you want to see from Luke Altmaier in the next couple of months going into the fall?
So Luke, quarterbacks, too much is given, much is expected, right? And Luke's as a starting quarterback, right, has got responsibility. So I thought it was a big moment last week. He's from the South. Obviously, the Manning name means a lot, and there's a quarterback camp that basically he's gone to the last 2 years with Archie and in a Manning camp. And I got a text, I think it was last week, said, "Coach, just got the invite." He said, "But if it's okay with you, I'd rather just stay here with the team," right? And I thought, that was going to make him miss 4 days of workouts, and he would rather stay here with his team, which I think is, of course, I'd love to have him go to it, but he's done it twice, and he's kind of like saying, "Hey, been there, done that. I'd rather just stay with the guys, and I think
Sure.
that's a huge step in the right direction.
Your defensive front, how would you kind of evaluate how they've grown and evolved this
Yeah, you know, Dennis Briggs has been very impressive, but the growth of Alex Bray is just really, he's taken to coaching. He's obviously a bigger player than he's ever been. Up front, T. Ross continued to play extremely well. He's playing as good a football as we've seen him play. So excited about those guys, but some of the on-deck guys, you know, Biggs has really shown that he can do some stuff. And Sledge, you know, who's a newcomer that came into it, but Eddie Turk has been an impressive guy as well. And a couple other guys, we moved Zeke Holmes, who was playing on the edge outside backer, and he really has been impressive through about 3 weeks here that we switched him, and I think he can really give us a lot of depth and a lot of a new skill set at that position specifically.
Obviously, you added JC and Melvin to play, but those guys as your tackles right now, what have they shown you in their
Kind of different skill sets, but JC's played left tackle his whole career, right? Very impressive, not as a player, but just a really impressive person. Very, very professional, good demeanor. He's a quiet kid. He takes coaching. Really doesn't say boo, but just goes out there and does everything the right way. Melvin on the other side, right, is a little different demeanor and personality, but really, since he's got here in January to where he is today, has been very impressive, very coachable. East St. Louis kid who got a lot of pride in playing here at the University of Illinois. And I'm excited to see him. I think this summer will be a big couple months of growth for him.
Coach, I know you think you have a couple of roster spots open now.
Yeah.
Did the spring help you identify maybe what positions you'd like to add?
Yeah, it's kind of a work in progress. Obviously, we've had a number of scholarship players get in the portal, so that opens up a few scholarship opportunities for us to work into this year's portal, or a high school kid that maybe is unsigned or assigned somewhere else. So we got a little bit of work to do. I have meetings Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so I'm not naive to the fact that that number may grow a little bit. The fortunate part for us, anybody that's kind of got in the portal at this point have been backups, guys that either were, second, third, fourth string guys that, just, and I understand that they're looking for opportunities to get on the field. So we'll see where we're at kind of on Wednesday. We've already started that process. We've had a lot of evaluations, but we won't start moving on that till after those meetings are done.
The McCarthy scholarship, the first 2 years went to a senior.
Yeah.
This year went to a junior. Is that like a 2-year thing then, or how do you intend to use
No,
that
great question. It's really, in theory, was the fact that it went to Bryce and Marquez. We really like an Illinois high school player that was a former walk-on. And obviously Mike Marquez was the first one since I've been here, right? And then Bryce Barnes after that last year, and then this year. As soon as the roster flipped in January, when we started talking about that award, I said, of course, we run it through Tim, but I said Miles Scott couldn't be a better recipient, right? Represents everything that we had. I still remember meeting with Miles and his dad when we offered that opportunity for him to walk on, and he's taking advantage of every rep. Really, truly one of our most complete players, the way he contributes on defense and special teams.
Brett, what did you feel like you needed to accomplish this spring, and what do you felt like you accomplished?
Great question. I think the part that I always say is we get 15 opportunities, and I just want to take advantage of every one of them. 2 weeks ago on a Tuesday, I didn't think we had a great practice, and I let them field a little bit. I just feel like the only thing that we can gain is, right, by everybody on this earth, one thing is our common denominator. We all share time, right? Like, we can't buy time, can't go buy another day or kind of forecast what's in the future. We all have the same amount of time, and I want to take advantage of every opportunity, and I think our guys did that. I think they felt it. I know that next practice they talked about making up for lost time of the day before. So we got better. We stayed pretty healthy, which is a big deal in this world that we're in right now. So to get out of it healthy and to get a better understanding of our roster has really helped us. To your point, I think there's probably going to be an additional 4 or 5 guys that we can pick up. In addition to there's 7 scholarship freshmen that'll be joining us in June that will, I think, a couple of those guys have the ability to play for us as well.
Right, it seemed really, I'll do one more after this. It seemed really noticeable that Seth and Gabe were in the backfield a lot.
Yeah.
They weren't able to touch the quarterback.
Yeah.
But has Clint been able to put his hands on those guys and really made an impact?
Yeah, I give a lot of credit to Clint. I've been coaching a long time, and I've never hired a coach that close to the start of a spring. Right, I literally gave him hired him on Thursday or Friday before we started on Monday. So to snap in and learn the position, his effect has been immediate. A lot of times when I'm hiring, I like to hire opposites, right? So both of you guys know Kevin from a few years back, who's obviously D coordinator at Purdue, and Charlie, who went on to the Giants. Those guys are both kind of, I would say, let's say they whenever he talked to me, it felt like they'd had 5 cups of coffee in the last hour, right? And when I hired Clint, I realized I was hiring a little bit different. Clint kind of is a very intelligent. He played the position, second-round draft pick, playing that position. I wanted to give them somebody that brought a little something different to the table, and I thought he's been awesome to work with, very intelligent. Him and Archie both have been very impressive on defense. Archie is just like Clint, very, very kind of calm. He's got a presence and awareness, but very, very intelligent. I think Aaron would tell you that he's very excited about that defensive staff. And then obviously I got one more position to hire. I've purposely kind of put that off until now. Over the next week and a half, I got a list of about 28 names that I'm kind of just working through. I've talked to a few, so I'll probably hire someone middle of May, which allows us to do some, the timing of it also. We're going into spring ball. There's a lot of coaches that have reached out to me that are at other places that really couldn't interview during the spring. If they don't get the job, it's not a great look, right? So, and then because of the timing of it, the NFL window opens up some opportunities as well. So I'm excited to make this hire here probably in the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Wins notwithstanding, how do you feel like you guys are at specialist-wise, not only in terms of the starters, but maybe depth behind?
Yeah, Hugh kind of irritated his back 2 weeks ago, so he didn't participate this week, but he'd been hitting the ball fairly well, probably as good as it's been since I've been here. Declan Dooley has really come along, stroking the ball. Breezy kind of does a little bit of both. You know, I put him back out there. I want to see him hit the ball deep on that kickoff. David, I believe in the spring, has been 100% inside of 45 yards throughout the entire 15 practices, which is a pretty impressive stat. I like where it's at. Lane Hansen has continued to be really steady for us in the snapper room. So I think in the return game, we'll see where we're at come fall, because some of these incoming freshmen, as well as some possibly the portal guys, will have return abilities. Mario Sanders has return ability. Hank Beatty's been awesome. Hank Beatty has really grown in his role as a receiver in the kicking game.